Good morning, everybody, and you're very welcome. This is our fifth session throughout the year, so I'm delighted to kind of provide that support and to meet so many faces ongoing throughout the year. I suppose the theme for today's session is to going to meet our head of pastoral here in the school, Mr. Cleary. Going to introduce him. And then I'm just going to really give a background to some of our homeroom teachers. We're delighted to have a really strong homeroom teacher cohort for the upcoming year, so I'd like to introduce you to them, kind of hear a little bit about their backgrounds, their experiences, see a face, and then I'm just going to kind of go through our communication flow. So obviously it's a little bit different from primary to secondary, and I've kind of touched on it earlier on in the year, but I'll be going through that. Our rewards and conduct in secondary, and then some of our student leadership positions that we'll have available for students next year. At the end then there's tea and coffee outside. Myself and Mr. Cleary be around for Q&A if anyone wants to talk or kind of have a chat, or if there's anything more personal to yourself that we can talk about at that stage. So with that in mind, I'll introduce Mr. Cleary, who's our head of pastoral.
Okay, good morning everyone. Firstly, a huge thank you on behalf of Mr. Swain and myself for giving up your time to be with us today. Like Mr. Swain said, the purpose really of today is building on our value of togetherness and giving us an opportunity to see each other, build relationships, and more importantly, put a kind of a name to some of the faces that you're going to be working closely with next year. I'd like to start off by just giving huge praise for the grade 5s. During the transition events that we had this year, it's been really valuable for us as staff members having them over in the building. They're a really excited bunch, really enthusiastic bunch. And since them transition days, it's been great seeing them in different capacities across the school, whether it's transitioning through the secondary school. They're saying hello to us, knowing our names, knowing our faces, an opportunity for me and Mr. Swain to pop into some of their events this year. So it's a really exciting group. We've started building some strong relationships with them, and we're really excited to have them over here next year come August and start September. So just a bit about myself. Today predominantly really is about getting to know the people behind the team that you're going to be working with, so you have a kind of closer relationship with those that are supporting your son and daughter for next year. So for those who aren't aware who I am, I'm Brian Cleary. I'm the Deputy Head of Pastoral here in the secondary school. I've been in the UE since 2011, worked in IB schools in Dubai. I was also previously in Ras Al Khaimah. Bit of background on me, I'm a father of 2 young children. So my youngest was 1 last week, and I have one that's 2 as well. So busy household around my house, but exciting times as well. In terms of my kind of background academically, I have a master's in economics and finance. I have a degree in business. So for your sons and daughters who are coming through, I'll be teaching them in the fields of commerce at MYP. So one of the new subjects we introduced this year in response to some of the students' aspirations and passions. So as they move through to the grade 7, 8, and 9, they'll have an opportunity to do commerce, which is like interdisciplinary between economics, business, global politics. So that's where they'll kind of come into contact with me academically. And in the diploma program, I also teach business management and economics and theory of knowledge as well. So I'll have that kind of link in the classroom as some of your sons and daughters go through the career-related program or the diploma program as well. Where I'm from originally, I'm from Ballinasloe in Galway, so it's west of Ireland, which I would have left in 2011 to come to the journey of the UE, but still do enjoy going back and looking forward to a trip back there to my family in the summertime. Some of my kind of passions is around kind of mostly sporting and keeping active. So I'm involved in the ASA program in terms of coaching football. So some of your sons and daughters coming through and involved in sports, I do help out with the sports team in terms of football. I all have a passion for swimming, cycling, and keeping active in general, as well as kind of linked to my discipline in terms of economics and politics. And I do run some of the after school clubs in terms of helping with like the business aspects of our entrepreneurship after schools as well. So that might be a good opportunity for some of your sons and daughters in grade 6 to get involved in next year. What really excites me, really, I suppose, the reason what drew me to the school here is the values. I think it's a really exciting school in terms of bilingualism, but mostly the togetherness. And I think from our pastoral program, And for the pastoral team, what we will be envisioned to do is trying to build that strong relationship with your son and daughters and building that values-ism from a pastoral side. So I look forward to catching up with each and all of you after. I'll be around, as Mr. Swain said, for coffee. So if you have any questions afterwards, I look forward to meeting you in person. Well, thank you and enjoy the rest of the session.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, so as Brian said there, it's really just about kind of getting to know the people behind that you're going to be coming in contact with more and more next year. And I know even myself, I've met you now at this stage 5 times, but just wanted to kind of give a little bit of background around myself as well. Like Brian, I'm also from Ireland, from the East Coast, from Dublin. Spent a lot of time traveling, spent years over in Australia, spent years in New Zealand. Then I've delivered workshops. A kind of big passion of mine is around student well-being. I would have delivered a lot of workshops over in the States, over in LA and different parts of America. I've worked in Nepal, and I joined the UAE last year, at the start of last year, and I actually joined in the primary school setting. So it's kind of, I do know exactly how the primary school works at SISD. I was a grade 3 teacher, really enjoyed it. And then I've moved now, and this is my first year working as a grade 6 coordinator and transition lead. So really what that was around providing the support for students as they move from primary into secondary. For me, about 3 years ago now, I went back and did a master's in positive psychology, it's really around the science of well-being, and I researched then adult development and coaching psychology. I have a HDIP in communication, HDIP in education, and a Bachelor of Arts from UCD. As mentioned there, experience-wise, I've taught in international school, actually a Deutschschule in Ireland, along with running workshops over in the States. And then, as I mentioned, coming here, I was in the primary school and now have moved into secondary. What excites me about working at SISD, it's really probably twofold. It's kind of the academic, but also the pastoral. Obviously, my side is the pastoral, and I really believe that for a student to flourish and to be able to grow, they need to feel safe. They need to feel that sense of belonging. They need to feel that kind of that sense that they're home when they come into school. And it's something that we've a very strong pastoral side here at SISD with my own role, with all the grade coordinators roles in the secondary school, with our student counsellor, and I'm going to talk to you about kind of some of the wellbeing focus that we have here at SISD. For me, my hobbies, I love music. So I play guitar and sing a lot, CrossFit and travel, but I'm also a big sports fan. So I would have played football for 25 years and a big fan of coaching now as well. So I am the grade 6 coach, or I was this year. So for any young sons, I was the football coach this year. We had a great grade 6 team that took us different parts of Dubai, playing different matches. And that's kind of my kind of background there. I suppose me as a person, I moved here, as I mentioned, this time last year with my girlfriend. We're really enjoying life in Dubai. And I'm going to now I'm going to give a little bit of a background of the role of the homeroom teacher, because as I mentioned, being a primary school teacher, I know, and I always say to parents when I'm speaking to them, and students likewise, it's one of the biggest challenges is when a student walks into primary school and they have those 2 teachers we're fortunate enough to have here at SISD in a primary school setting, and the students know the teachers know the students, they know their backgrounds. Even on a Monday morning, it's kind of that feeling of, how's your weekend, how's your brother doing? They know that background. Secondary, it is harder because there's those 10, 12 teachers that students are having. It's harder for the students to kind of get to know the different routines, the different backgrounds, the different kind of expectations with teachers, and also for the teachers. So it's kind of around providing that support. So we're very lucky with our homeroom, the role of the homeroom teacher really, and I'll be talking about kind of lines of communication, but it's that first step. So any pastoral issues. Now, when I say pastoral issues, like it's kind of friendship issues, I'll kind of go through it here. It's listening and giving advice, celebrating positive attitudes and behaviors, providing motivation across subjects, being a constant support in the academic, social, emotional well-being of students, sharing the daily message and other whole school information, trip forms, etc. Formally reporting on student behaviour, personal development in the end of year report, creating helpful strategies to assist with academic attainment and progress, and monitoring the attendance of homeroom groups. So It really is. It's kind of that first level that if you're experiencing, or if let's say your son comes in next year and you're kind of just wondering how they're settling in, is there any friendship issues or anything, it'll be the kind of the first step would be the homeroom teacher that you'd kind of be able to go to look for that kind of guidance or assistance. And likewise, it's the role of the homeroom teacher to kind of provide that support for your sons and daughters next year. So with that in mind, I'm going to introduce some of our homeroom teachers for next year. So first up is Miss Laura Marr.
Hello, my name is Laura Marr. I am from Ireland. I am from a place called Westmeath. Probably none of you know where that is, so it's right in the middle of Ireland. I came to the UAE here in August, and this is my first year here in the Swiss International School. What I really enjoy about working here is the inclusive environment of the school, especially me as an inclusion teacher. That's really, really important. We have some new students that come in during the year, and it's lovely that they all of a sudden feel included and feel welcome in the learning environment of the school. Some students struggle even not with only the learning environment but also socially as well, and the school has plenty of ESAs and school activities that the students can get involved in. So I please would advise you all next year to encourage your sons and daughters to get involved in all aspects of the school, because it is so inclusive and there's so many opportunities for all of them. Where I've previously taught is in Ireland. It's in a school called St Andrew's College. It was an international school environment, so I'm very experienced with an international school environment, and I brought my skills here with me when I came here to Swiss. My hobbies and interests are Pilates and walking. The walking at the moment is a bit of a struggle. It's getting very, very hot. So walking now, unfortunately, has to go inside. I look forward to meeting some of you next year, and thank you for taking the time to listen to me.
Thanks, Laura. Next up is Mr. Nelson.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to come here. So I'm Mr. Barrios. I was formerly a grade 6 homeroom actually in 2021. I can say that a great time. The word fun was actually what I remember, quite a lot of positive activities. It was actually great to see from the start, the first day, and how they evolved to the last day of the year before moving to grade 7. With a lot going on, and I think really it's a valuable experience for me as well. So I'm really looking forward to do this again. I'm from the south of France, in Spain, Barcelona area, but I grew up in the Pyrenees. So obviously my sport will be skiing. I dedicate my life to skiing. Obviously in Dubai it's quite difficult to maintain that, but and I haven't done yet a ski trip, so hopefully next year I will be able to do that. And from Barcelona area, I've been teaching as well here in another school in Dubai as a head of language. I'm a French language acquisition teacher and Spanish language acquisition teacher for the MYP and DP. So I'm pretty sure I will be taking over the French language students. So I'm not sure we'll be teaching them, but obviously I'm looking forward to that. What else? I think what I enjoy, apart from skiing, obviously is traveling, because it's very important. And in the school, I think what I find the most interesting is all the students coming from different parts of the world, but having the same need and the same kind of experience, and the result is it's amazing after spending time with them. So yeah, looking forward to meet you and spend time teaching and taking care. Is about taking care as well. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Nelson. And Miss Monique.
Bonjour, good morning. My name is Monique Exbraya. So I am half French, half Italian, half Sicilian. And I arrived, oh, another Sicilian guy. Ciao. So I arrived here in the school in Dubai in January, and I'm teaching INS, Individual and Society, Individu et Société, in French. So I'm new in Dubai, and I used to teach in the United States, Houston and Washington, D.C. before arriving here. So I must say I thought I was going to find something very similar to the United States, but at the end it's quite different. So what else can I say? Many things about me. Well, yeah, as you can see, I love skiing too, and I love tennis and I love cycling. So all outdoor activities. Dubai now is not the greatest place for these kind of activities. And well, what excites me about working here is that I'm an expat. I come from an expat family. I was born in Italy, but my dad used to work in oil industry. So as soon as I was born, they took me to Algeria and then to Nigeria, Mexico, and all around the world. So working in an international school is, well, it's like being home for me. And what else? Well, yes, I graduated in Italy. I have a master's degree in history. But throughout my career, I taught a lot, mainly French, Italian, and more recently, the last 5 years, I started teaching history and geography. Voila. What else? I think that's all. I'm thrilled to have your kids next year. I think that I've met them already during the introduction day or week, I don't know. And so, well, I thought we had a good vibe. It was a good introduction, and so, well, hopefully everything will go smoothly next year. We'll take care of them, we'll guide them, we'll reassure them, and everything will be fine. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Miss Vassilio. I come from Greece. I am a French language acquisition teacher in SISD. I have previously taught French in France and in UAE. What excites me more about SISD is the opportunity that we have as teachers to teach students coming from all over the world. In my spare time, I love to travel and spend time with my family and friends. This year I was a grade 6 homeroom teacher, and it was a great experience to work with Mark and the other homeroom teachers and with the French homeroom. So thank you so much for being here. Yes, have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thanks, Anastasia. Our German teacher for next year is Miss Luisa Tropisch. Louisa will be joining us in August and is from Germany, Dresden, I believe. She has a Master of Arts in German and has experience working in German schools in Berlin, Brazil, and Singapore. She's taught in, her hobbies and interests include languages and speaks English, Spanish, and Portuguese. So we're also really looking forward to welcoming Louisa to the team, and then we will have a final English homeroom teacher, which is yet to be confirmed, but we'll give more communication on that. It'll probably be August time. So just want to say thanks for the homeroom teachers to come, and it's, as I say, I think today is just around really getting that face behind the people that you're going to be working with next year. For today, so like what we're looking at next year, you're probably, the next question is kind of what type of interaction will the homeroom teacher be having with your students? So we're looking at having a morning check-in. I'm just seeing my typo up there, but it's supposed to be a morning check-in, and that'll be from 7:50 to 8 a.m. That's yet to be confirmed, but that's what we're looking at. And then there'll be 2 periods a week. So it's a moral, social, and cultural class. and also a student wellbeing class. So I'll kind of give an insight into the wellbeing curriculum, but just in case you're wondering, what's the contact time that your homeroom teachers are going to be meeting with your students? It's that morning check-in time, that 10 minutes, and then those 2 periods a week. So the homeroom teacher support, kind of some of the areas that we'll look at is kind of organisation skills. Obviously, it's a big move, moving from primary to secondary, and we've done 2 step-up days, and I've been over in grade 5, nearly more than grade 6 for the last kind of couple of months, and it's been lovely kind of getting to know the different students. And we always do Q&As, and kind of some of the areas, which is very, very understandable, is around organisation, and kind of obviously the students be moving in between classes next year, and you're getting questions like, let's say, Mr. Swain, let's say I don't know where I'm supposed to go, or if I'm not sure where my classroom is. So myself and the homeroom teachers be there in support of that. Organisation skills, time management, extracurricular involvement, healthy lifestyles, lockers, friendships, and conflict resolution strategies. They're kind of some of the areas that, as homeroom teachers and myself, will be looking to support with. I mentioned kind of student wellbeing curriculum that we're developing at the moment. So when we look at our moral social, it's a really, really big passion of mine, I think, to kind of flourish in any kind of academic setting. The most important thing is that you feel safe, that you feel comfortable in yourself. So to upskill our students, we're looking at, these are kind of different modules that we'll be looking at kind of incorporating with our students this coming year. So self-awareness, gratitude, creating confidence, self-management, stress solutions, responsible decision making, effective communication, social awareness, relationship skills, identifying interests, goal setting, setting up for success, excelling in exams, positive body image, sleep, and healthy eating. Yeah, it's a big area that I'm very, very interested in. I actually came into education for these skills to ensure that we kind of are upskilling, because when we look at like our students coming towards the end of when they come to grade 12, it's brilliant that they'll have their exams and different things, but we want them to be ready and in a state that they're going into the world, kind of having all that knowledge with themselves, their interaction with peers and different things. So to be able to upskill them, I feel is a big plus. Communication flow, I touched on this. So pastoral, and when I say pastoral, as I say, it's all kind of around friendships or how a student is feeling, if they're integrating. The line of communication there would be to your homeroom teacher, and then it would come on to myself as well. I look after grade 6. So, and then if it's academic, so if it's anything subject related, if it's maths or science, and let's say I'm just wondering we're in the homework or how he's doing in maths class or anything specific to that subject, the communication would be to the subject teacher himself. So communication next year, obviously a little bit different. From an academic side, and our parent session 4 was all around ManageBack. So ManageBack will be the platform that we'll be able to see all the kind of dates that your students will have summatives and formatives. It's also where teachers would provide feedback on any formatives, and it's also where the home learning would be posted. So that would be, and that's kind of one way, that's coming from the teacher of the subject. From a kind of more general point, I know in primary we have the sway, and we're going to be trialing a sway here in secondary, a bi-weekly sway, which, like in primary, is just going to be an insight into life at SISD, along with any upcoming events. So they'll be the 2 forms of communication that you see. So ManageBack is the main one for kind of anything academic, and then the bi-weekly sway for a little, as I say, insight into life. We're going to be looking at that as well. Now, rewards and conduct. Obviously, SISD is very, very much positive education focused. So areas that we'd be looking to do that is celebrating student success, house points, excellent notes, and best awards. I know we have 1 or 2 parents in the audience that are new to Swiss. So when I say house points, students are, when they come to Swiss, are designated a different house. Bern, Geneva, Lugano, there's one other one. And yes, what's it? Zurich, yes, thank you. And the four different houses, and it works really, really well that they gain house points, and I'll explain how they receive those house points. But they're building up towards their own house points and how many house points they're getting, but also they're feeling part of that house that they're in, be it Lugano, Geneva, etc. One of the biggest areas that so focused on SASD are so focused, obviously one of the core values is togetherness, but moving from a primary into a secondary, one of the key things that you're looking for is that your student feels a belonging, a sense of belonging when they come into the school. They'd have their class in primary, but when you're coming into a bigger setting, it's something that we're very concious about, is so that every single student, when they walk through the doors, that they have a sense of, yeah, I belong here, that there's somebody looking after me, my homeroom teacher, my grade coordinator, that I'm part of the house, I'm part of an ASA, that they feel part of something. And the house system really helps to embed that. Teachers giving house points per class based on our IB profile. So I suppose you'd be wondering, how do students get house points? So, and when we say positive education, it's really around, obviously we're an IB school and we have all our IB attributes, so caring and principled and knowledgeable. And what our teachers do is at the end of each lesson, they'll be very specific, and they'll give between usually around 3 to 5 house points to different students, and they'll give the reason. So it might be, Johnny, listen, really good today. You had your workout. I want to give you a principled house point. So to be specific around, and they base it off a learner attribute on the IB profile. Likewise, it could be, listen, I saw how you were including your friend there. I want to give you a caring house point. So it's really about embedding that positive education onto the students. The students are building up their house points. Even at the moment with our current grade 6, we run assemblies. And we kind of do, it's not student of the week, it's our top 10 students who've accumulated those different house points throughout the week. So really trying to kind of go over that. And these can be accessed on ISAM. So maybe if we go back to our communication, we had our manage back on anything academic, our bi-weekly sway with kind of anything more general. But all these house points will be able to be viewed from parents on ISAMs. Parent partnerships is the last thing, so please do inform us of your child's successes. I feel like we're working with some super students. I'm always constantly getting different emails from parents around different tennis competitions, different kind of football competitions, be it debating leagues, different things, but it really does help, and it helps to get an insight from that. So please don't be afraid that if there is something kind of going on that your child has been involved in, to let us know so we can kind of support it here in the school as well. And the final thing then is around student leadership opportunities. Again, I mentioned that belonging, but what helps belonging is responsibility and giving over that level of responsibility to students. So what we've got in the school is we've kind of got our leadership program, and it works kind of, you'll see there, grade 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we've all different councils. So we've a wellbeing council, we've a sustainability council, we've a technology council, we've a sports council, we've an excellence council, we've a bilingual council. And then what we do, and we'll be kind of giving, I was speaking to the grade 5s about this, and there's already a lot of kind of enthusiasm about it, but there'll be all those different councils, the students be paired up with different people along their grades, and it's really about enhancing student voice. So there'll be opportunities for students to get involved in that. Come kind of August time, we'll put out kind of how students can apply, and kind of goes through a CV process, but a really good way, again, about ensuring that our students feel a sense of belonging and responsibility here at Swiss. Important dates. So our final kind of, we've had 2 step-up days along with multiple times over. I've been over with the grade 5s a lot, looking at their PYPX, and then I know there's so much good work going on at the moment. But our step-up day 3 for students is on the 23rd of June. What we've kind of done with that is really it's around kind of this whole transition program is around bridging the gap so that it's not this big massive jump for students. So they've been over, well, they've had science lessons over here. Then the first day they had their step up day 1 where they came over, and their primary school teachers were in the classes with them. Then we tiered it back. They were over for the step up day 2 where teachers were outside of the classroom, and step up day 3 now we're be on the 23rd of June where again teachers will be outside the classroom, and at that stage students be able to get a mix and a flavour and be working alongside some of their homeroom teachers. Up here, class allocations to be confirmed before the end of the term. So we are kind of still working on our class allocations. As I say, it is different, and I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Currently in our grade 6, we have our students that are, let's say, in a French F1 class. Those students are going to PE together, drama together, different subjects together as a cohort, as a group. Next year, it's changing in Swiss. and it's changing across all the different grades, and there's going to be a lot more mixing. So that cohort, be it whatever the class allocation for the student is going to be mixing throughout the day in all the different subjects. Why? Well, really, we feel like it's better, like really we're here to kind of upskill our students. So we want them to be mixing with all different personalities. We also feel that 6, 7 years, some of these students could have been in primary together for 5, 6 years together, the same court. They love each other, but they can also hate each other. Brother and sister nearly feels that they've had so much time. So to be able to be incorporating and mixing all those differences is really, really important. So when we do have the class allocations, please do take that in mind. It'll be time that they'll be in their classroom for 10 minutes in the morning and those 2 classes with homeroom teacher. Rest of the time is all mixed around all the different subjects. And finally, our transition Tuesdays are still going. I've been delighted. I've met so many parents since January, and people have booked in times, and we've sat down, and for that kind of more personalised chat, if there was anything that you were nervous about or anxious about, and parents have gotten in touch, and it's been really, really nice. So that is still available if you'd like to meet me and kind of have a chat. As I say, myself and Mr. Cleary be around after this session, but if you'd like something more formal, please do get in touch. Finally, I just want to say thank you. It's been really, really nice to kind of meet you. As I said, 5 parent sessions at this stage, and it's been really, really nice. I hope you feel part of something, because it really is something that we like to feel here at Swiss, is that sense of togetherness moving us through primary into secondary. I'd like to also thank our homeroom teachers that I really look forward to working with next year, and myself and Mr. Cleary be around for teas and coffees outside. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.